I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is the
Family Showdown!
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to my top 100 games of all time. I'm Hunter. This is Rebecca, my co-conspirator. Today we're looking at my 31.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Let's take a gander. 2 new games. Looks like a lot of games doing the dropsies. Ooh. Couple games look like they go up. Maybe. Start off right away. Kick it off right away with my number 40. My favorite of a trilogy of games called The West Kingdom.
Okay.
And that is Paladins.
Oh, that was your favorite. Okay.
Paladins
That's
of
right.
the West Kingdom. They're all in the same general area.
So like
They're within,
Viscounts.
what did I say last time? 11 spaces apart, the 3 games. Paladins is my favorite because I really like the worker placement in this game.
Nice.
It's kind of interesting in that you have your kind of your own worker placement board. Most worker placement games, you have a central board that you're placing workers, so you're kind of doing your own thing on your own board over here.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that there's different colors of meeples. Your workers are like little meeple guys, and at the start of each round, you're drafting a selection of those meeples, and you're using those meeples to carry out all these different actions. And the actions are there's kind of 3 virtues. Reminds me of the Ultimate games. Remember the old Ultimate games? You have like 3 virtues, virtues.
Man,
there's like spirituality and attacky, and I don't remember what all the virtues are. Gosh, I don't remember. But anyway, there's 3 different. There's the blue one, the red one, and the black one.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's how we'll remember it.
And
colors.
what's cool is you utilize one virtue or one ability or one skill, however you want to say it, to go to a spot. You need a certain level to do certain actions at a spot. But then that in turn is going to raise a different skill, right? So if I want to get my warfare up, maybe I need to go to this other spot. They all interact with each other. And you're building little buildings out on a kind of a central board. The central board you play is not very big, but you're putting these little buildings, and you get little bonuses for building monasteries and houses. I don't know.
It's a bunch of different buildings.
And there's all kinds of other things going on. There's set collections, but I just love how the interplay of those worker placement spots, because it's kind of counterintuitive. I want to improve the skill, so I need to use a different skill to go to a spot to improve the other skill that I wanted to improve. It's kind of weird how that works. They all work together. You have set collection you got going on and other things, but what I enjoy is how that worker placement works. It's really interesting. And the drafting of those meeples, to maybe you want certain colors of meeples to go to certain spots to be able to do certain things, so you're drafting those. And it's one of those games where you're trying to get what everyone calls turn efficiency, right? I have 6 meeples. I got to stretch those as far as I can, because you can eventually get other things, and you're trying to make that turn, your round or whatever, last as long as possible to best utilize those, because you can be inefficient in how you use those, right? Because you go to one spot, maybe it takes 3.
Yeah.
If I go to this other spot, it's only going to take me 1 to be able to do the action.
Yep.
So good. So good. Love all of the West Kingdom games. They're all amazing, but I like this one a little more than the others. But this one's probably your least favorite, right?
No, it's not. This is my second favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
So we both think Architects is horrible because it's all the way down to like my 50-something.
Yeah. This is
51.
This is like in my top 200 easily. It is. It's 149. Don't call, I know. I don't know. Maybe with another play. No, it's really good. It's not typically the style of game I really like,
Say you're
but
sorry
it's really
to
good.
Paladins.
No. I regret nothing. No, this is another really good game that's in a small box. Like, it's a big amount of game.
But yeah,
it's packed into this box.
As they say, it's chock-a-block.
You say that all the time. You look to the very tippy top of this is, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
These games need to be in ticket the right side boxes, but
actually, I think they're the height of efficiency. Because we gripe about those bigger boxes that are just loosey-goosey.
True.
This is what we're talking about right here.
Don't use logic. that was my 57 last time. Moved up to 40 because we recently played the Tommy Saga campaign, where we played all the games, and that really drove home that I like Paladins more. So it shot up the list.
Saga.
What? All right, let's move on. This one got puntated a little bit. It's kind of settling because this is what's interesting. This is kind of the more traditional Euro. I'm liking the more crazy complex Euro.
Okay.
This is a more traditional Euro, but it's holding strong.
Okay.
Because it uses the double rondelle. It's like wax on, wax off, double rondelle mechanism. And Crown of Amara.
I love this game. This is my number 11, guys. I love Crown of Amara. Okay.
Well, you talk about it.
No. It's good. Sure.
So we were introduced to this at a Dice Tower retreat. We tried this one out, and we fell in love immediately. But it was pretty hard to find at the time. We hunted it down, and this is one of our faves. She loves it, and I enjoy it a lot. I love it as well.
I like it a lot.
A lot. So, but it dropped a little bit, but it's kind of settling. Still in the top 40. It's got to be pretty cool. But this is more of a traditional Euro. You're going out and you're collecting resources. You're using those resources to activate areas and get cards and get victory points and stuff like that. It's basically a resource collection, resource conversion, great victory points kind of game. But it has a lot of little tricky bits in it. That's probably the reason why it stays so high on my list. Like I said, it has that double rondelle. You got one where you're moving to work around, you're collecting resources, and then on another rondelle, you're moving around and activating different areas of the city. You're getting victory points and you're getting specialty cards and things like that. But in addition to that, it has kind of an action selection card thing. So you have a deck of cards. You're going to draw some cards, 3 cards, and you're going to put them down. It's like, this is going to be my first action. This is going to be my second action. It's going to be my third action. And it's a cool little puzzle because maybe I'll go out and get resources first for my first action. In my second action, I'm going to go and spend those resources to do something else. In my third action, I'm going to do this other thing. But what's interesting is it can kind of get messed up based on what the other player does, right? Yeah. I was going to get 2 stone, and I was going to go to this other place to pay the 2 stone to do this action. Oh, but she went there first, and now it costs 3 stone. I'm like, what the? But then you can say, okay, instead, my first action, I'm going to do this other thing, and you basically can switch up what you're going to do kind of on the fly. Love this game. So much fun. And it has a cool victory system where you are moving up 2 tracks. One is like the housing track, and one is a victory point track, and whichever is your lowest is your actual score. So you kind of got to keep those together. You can't just run away with one and then have a crappy one in the other one. There's a lot of in-game kind of scoring things that are going on that let you manipulate those to kind of catch up or whatever. But it's your lowest of the 2 is your actual score, which is cool. Lots of cool things going on. That's the reason why it's sticking up so high on my list. Crown of Amara. I didn't even talk about the crowns.
I know. They're just more victory points and stuff, basically. I mean, really, they're not like the height of the game. They just give you really good victory points.
So if you've been following along at home, watching my videos, I discussed the failed / Uwe punitation year. It kind of started last year, but it's hitting home this year. My favorite Uwe Rosenberg game has plummeted down to my 38. Was my 19 last time. It is my 38 this time. Still love it.
Where is it? Go ahead. I'm looking. Go ahead.
Le Havre.
I am shocketed.
This isn't high up on your list.
It's not super high up on my list.
Not even in your top 200.
Yes, it is. Where'd you get that?
Keep looking. Keep going down.
I'm looking.
You don't like this one as much.
I don't like this one as much as you, but I do like it.
I'll wait for you to find it. 143.
Is it really?
I'm just guessing.
No, it's not 143. You made that up.
I did.
Where did I put it?
Probably even further down.
Oh, okay. Anyway, keep going. Talk about your games.
I want to see how low it is.
But I'm probably skipping over it.
It's not on your list at all.
What? No, it's got to be.
You don't like Le Havre.
I like it. I'm not crazy about it, but I wouldn't have. Maybe I missed it. Did I miss it?
Told you it's not. I don't think it's
There's
on your...
no way. Oh, that's
Keep looking.
That's a
Le Havre
that's crazy.
My favorite Uwe Rosenberg game.
I like this game.
The reason is it's probably different than all the other Uwe Rosenberg games. Just like my favorite Feld is different from a lot of the Feld games.
Right.
This one, it's a worker placement game. You're building buildings, collecting resources. You're converting those resources into other kinds of resources, and eventually you're creating victory points out of those. It's got the feed your people mechanism, but it's got a cool thing where you can buy boats, and the boats are kind of like permanent food.
There it is. 109. I knew it was on there.
Where was I?
Feeding your people.
So rudely interrupted.
You were feeding your people, okay?
So yeah, you can buy permanent boats to feed your people. You can eventually get an export system going on where you're exporting products to get victory points. But it's got a cool thing where you start out with just a couple of buildings. There's some like central buildings everyone can use, and then you start building buildings in front of you. And over time, you get a lot more choices. But it seems like you always want to go to the spot that someone else is at, and things like that. People go to your spot, you get a little Benny for it. It's got some specialty buildings you can build that are really cool. But I just like how that progression works. Like you get like clay, and then eventually you'll make bricks, and eventually use those bricks to make certain buildings. Then you're making steel and iron and coal, and you're building these massive ships and all sorts of fun stuff. It seems like every round is a choice between a really good thing or a really good thing or another really good thing, or that place I really wanted to go that Rebecca's blocking, but I'll do this and I'll get 17 fish instead.
17. It's not wrong though, because we'll leave it for a while and it just keeps building up. You have this mound of resources. It's so good.
It's a great game.
I
enjoy this game. It's got a really good progression, and like I said, you start off your building. You have very few buildings, then there's lots of choices, and then some buildings almost become obsolete in a way that you're hardly using them, but they were really important early on, so you had to build them. Really great game. What's funny is we played this game for the longest time without the special buildings, because we played the short version. We kept playing the short version over and over again for whatever reason, and it tells you not to include all the stuff when you play the short version. We're like, let's try the long version. And we're like, whoa,
long version is good.
That's I'm pretty sure it rocketed up my list. Not rocketed up, but it went.
It went up some, didn't
it? It's all over the place. This game's got confusion, but it did drop quite a lot this year.
Yeah, it's
just because Uwe and Feld.
I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Like early in life, you have those things you enjoy, you really like them, and you have amazing time doing them. As you get older, you kind of don't enjoy them as much. You look back fondly on them, like, those were some great times, but I really don't want to do that anymore. That's how Feld and Uwe are.
It's true.
You're funny.
I'm just messing. I can't believe you said such things.
Le Havre. All right. Let's move on to another mispronounced game. This one dropped as well. It's funny, they were back. This is so weird. This seems to be a trend in my
not pronouncing anything.
In my list. Last year they were 18-19. This time they're 37-38. So they were back to back last year and back to back this year, and they dropped exactly the same amount.
Okay.
And that is Orleans. Orleans.
This is another one this is my 16. We like this game.
Some of us are growing as people. And other of us are stuck in the past.
Where's that technical difficulty? Because I may not even care if there are witnesses at this point in time. Growing as a person.
Another solid Euro game. They have to be solid to stick in on my list, and this one's sticking up. But this one's dropping. This one, like I said, dropped a bunch of places. It was consistently at the top of my list. What's funny, it was in 2016 it was 14.
Yeah.
17 it was 14.
Yep.
18 it was 14.
Yep.
19 it was 12. 20 it was 18. Now it's down to 37. Goodbye, farewell.
Oh my gosh, it's in the 30s and you're singing goodbye to it.
I can't pronounce any of those words. Anyway, Orleans, this is the old 90-minute Euro we used to love.
Dog in his own top 100
I love
list.
this game. This is an amazing game.
It's
I kid. This is what the kids are calling a bag builder, but it's not really a bag builder because you're not building a bag.
Yeah,
you're putting tokens in a bag and you're drawing tokens out, and it's kind of almost a deck builder-ish.
It's a bag
You're collecting all these
player.
tokens, you throw them in their bag, you're drawing the tokens out, and those are the tokens you're going to use for your turn. You're going out and you're moving around on the map collecting resources. You're going out and doing good deeds. You're doing all sorts of fun stuff. You're building buildings that give you superpowers. You're getting more tokens for your bag, all sorts of fun stuff. Yep. It's a great game, great mechanisms. We played this one way back in the day.
A billion times.
2016 at Dice Tower Con.
Oh yeah, first Dice Tower Con.
It was kind of a early Sunday morning. We got up Sunday morning and we just pulled the game off the shelf, played it, and I just walked over to the cool stuff booth and bought it.
Yeah, we were like, this is amazing.
The whole bag, it was kind of a new thing back then, and we played it and we're like, this is so cool. So I walked over and bought it. Love Orleans. It's a great one. Someday I dream of having the deluxe version that's completely out of print, and TMG is gone. So that's flew the
for
coop.
$1 billion.
That flew the coop. Anyway, love it. If you're looking for what I consider a midweight Euro game, the 90-minute Euro, it really doesn't depend. It's got a lot of simultaneous stuff going on, so it's almost the same length.
Yeah.
Regardless of the number of players.
Unless you have that one guy, that AP.
Has some expansions going on. It has a way to play cooperatively. It has a way to be even meaner. We don't like that expansion. Love it. We play with the trade expansion. I think that's the only thing we play with. It adds some more stuff to the game. Another good deeds board where your things go to die. Love this game. Fun. One of her faves. Used to be one of my faves, but now it's just And
why? You're so mean.
that is my number 37. Orleans or Orleans, depending on how you.
Orleans.
But not Orleans. Orleans. It's not Orleans. It's Orleans or Orleans. Your choice.
Give me that.
The twain.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong with you? Stop it.
All right. Let's move on to my 36. New one. One of the two new games. Attacky Goodness. You know what? This probably would have been my top 10, but then the infamous, notorious Paul took us behind the shed and gave us a good old butt whooping with this game. So it didn't make my top 10. I kid.
No, that's hilarious.
I kid.
You docked it because of that, huh? Interesting.
Ankh! Gods of Egypt!
Oh, we did. This was my 82. Wow.
Ankh!
It's another one of those hybrid monster games, just so good.
My favorite of the Eric Lane hybrid trilogy of death we had, for spoilers, if you watched previous episodes, where was Blood Rage? It was way down the list somewhere.
It's dropped now because you've played it a billion times.
83 for Blood Rage, and then Rising Sun 41. Now we got Ankh 36. My favorite of the three, and as much as I like it multiplayer, and it was great and crazy. Yeah. I prefer this. I think I prefer this 2 players.
Yeah, we talked about this before, right? You said this is the best of the 3. This is the best 2-player.
Right.
And then Rising Sun is the best, like, max player.
Yes.
And then Blood Rage is the one is like 3
or 4
players. Yeah.
2 players for this. Blood Rage 3 or 4 players.
Rising Sun is like
5
everybody.
players.
Yeah, bring them all.
But I enjoyed it, even though I had to merge. I did the merge thing, and I merged with It was like destined.
It was so funny.
We played this game, and it was just like destined that I was gonna merge with the infamous Tommy.
Whatever, it was pretty cool. It was interesting.
I got spanked. I tried a strategy and it did not work. But that sometimes happens when you play these games.
Oh yeah.
But I love this game. It's crazy overproduced, crazy miniatures, crazy.
What do you think about the merge though? Now that you've played it, because everybody, there's a
in our particular case, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because we were so far behind that even us merging and getting multiple powers and all this other stuff was not going to catch us up.
Yeah, yeah.
If it was a tighter game, I think it would have helped. But as it was, there was no way. I mean, I think you had maybe for a while had a chance to win.
I did for a while,
and then it was all over. But
yeah.
But I love this game. You start off. You have very asymmetrical gods. Your different gods of Egypt. You have superpowers that are crazy good, and then you're bumping up you're basically upgrading different skills, and you're making a choice which ones to upgrade. There's area control on the board. There's all these regions, and then as time goes by, the regions are gonna get subdivided. So maybe the two people or three people are in a region fighting each other, but then you cut it in half, and it really changes up how the thing works.
It really does change the dynamic.
There is moving around on the board. Having mobility to move your troops around the board is very important and can change things. That's how we got really spanked, is someone was going all over the board doing all kinds of crazy stuff. This is a really, you can get monsters that help you fight. Great thing.
It's got kind of that scythe thing too, right? Where you move the tokens to give you better abilities, kind of like level yourself up in certain aspects of the game too. And that's one thing I really like about that, and I really liked it in this too.
Yeah.
Super fun.
But I enjoyed, like I said, I enjoyed it greatly with lots of players, but 2-player was awesome. This works for an area control game. Most area control games don't well 2-player.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It really worked well 2-player.
I mean, it jumped up to my 82. What did I say, 82? Yeah, that's crazy. For an area control game, that's insane.
Garbage.
Oh my
goodness. Love it. It's so good. New to the list, 30 popped in at 36.
Wow, that's crazy good. Crazy good.
Ankh.
All right.
That's the weirdest word, Ankh.
It's a cool word.
It just seems like that wouldn't be, because this is me going off on a tangent.
Oh no.
And I'm sitting next to the classics person here. But it seems like a lot of ancient words are very long and convoluted-ish. And Ankh. It just seems like it's just Ankh. I mean, I don't know. It's just me. Ankh.
It's just you, but
it's like you're honking a clown nose. Ankh, Ankh.
I was thinking of a goose, but
yeah, there you go. Ankh. All right, let's move on to my number 35. The other new game to the list. There was 2. They're back to back. I enjoyed this game, even though the play was kind of convoluted. We've only had one play of this game. Jumped in 35.
Wow!
Because I had some rules slippage. Not necessarily a rules error. It's just that something that I should have thought about that I didn't think about happened, and kind of shortened the game. But it was okay. It was okay that it got shortened.
That was funny. I remember that.
One versus many.
Yeah, it's
Dracula versus the Dracula hunters, vampire hunters.
It was so much fun.
Fury of Dracula.
I'm looking to see.
I don't think this made your list.
It may not have, because we also only had one play. Never mind.
So. Love this. I want to get it played again. I want to reread the rules, become more familiar with them, so that I don't make a mistake. I basically, if you know the game, I went back to my castle. I just passed through my castle on a whim, and apparently you only go back there if you're desperately needing to go back there.
Because it's like bing, bing, bing.
And I kind of just passed through it. I'm like, oh well, I did that. I can't change it because it's a hidden movement game. I can't change what I did. I basically fired up a beacon saying, "Here I am, come get me!" And they came and got me and beat me up.
It was great.
But I love the way this plays. I love how all the players are. I was playing Dracula, and I found it even interesting watching the players discussing among themselves. Okay, he could be here. He did this. Well, I don't know if he would go here. If you go here, it can narrow off that section. There's all this cool player interaction to find where Dracula
Everybody
is.
has completely different abilities. It's really
the
neat.
battle system, I really enjoyed how the battle system worked in this game, the fighting.
It was wild.
Really, really fun game. I really enjoyed it. I want to play it again. I want to be more familiar with the rules when I play again to not, fire the, what is it, light the beacon. What is it called? Like the
beacons. The beacons have been lit.
Yes. I basically told them where I was. I was toast after that. I mean, literally, it's converged on me and killed me.
Yeah, it was good.
But I love it. It's a fun one.
It was very suspenseful. Like, even though it's a long game, you feel like suspense. It was great.
This is one of the games where I don't tend to like. It's one of those games where you have to play all the characters. So this is a 2 to 5 player game, but it's always Dracula and 4 other characters. So if 2 players, it's one Dracula plays one Dracula, and the other player plays all 4 characters. So it's probably best at 5, unless you're okay with playing multiple characters. It might be good at 3, 2 each. Might not be too bad, but I couldn't imagine playing 4 characters.
No interest, so you better find somebody else to play your 2-player game with. So yeah.
Love this game. I've always been interested in it. I finally bit the bullet and bought it a while back, and we finally got to play it, and I had a blast. And I really,
it was good.
I don't know if I'd want to play anything but Dracula. I guess I would, but I really liked.
You did it.
I kind of like being the fly on the wall, going, knowing what's going on and watching the players.
It is funny.
talking to each other like they have no clue where I am, or oh no, they know where I am.
You do enjoy that a lot. It's really funny.
I really like that part
Yeah.
of it. I get a kick out of watching the discussion and the kind of the thought processes that are going on because I'm in the know. I know what's going on. And
Well, it's kind of the same thing with like Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
Right.
You love being the forensic scientist for that reason,
yeah.
unless you're the murderer.
Yeah.
You love that too.
yeah, I love knowing what's going on and kind of seeing the wheels turn and the light bulb go off. I think it's so cool. It's like, oh, he's got to be there. I'm like, oh, I am there. Yeah, I love this game. It's a fun one. If you like hidden movement game, this is a big one. This is like a 3+ hour game. What does it say on the box?
I thought it was 2+, but yeah, it was like
2 to 3 hours.
Yeah,
it's 3+ hour game.
Yeah.
It can be shorter. I mean, they could get lucky
shorter.
and track you down and corner you and kill you. But I think our game ended up being about 2 hours. But if I hadn't messed up, it probably was.
Oh, it would have gone longer.
It would have gone
for
longer
sure.
than that. Love it. Want to play it again?
Yep.
Fury of Dracula. That's the 4th edition. 3rd and 4th edition are exactly the same. There's I think 4th has painted miniatures or something.
Ooh.
There's slight difference between the two, but they're basically the same game. Let's move on to my 34. This one rocketed up. It was consistently 50s, 60s, and it shot up to 34 because I just given in. I love this game. I mean, I kind of try to find. I guess I was always trying to find the flaws in it, but now I'm just like, this game is amazing. It's pit in space. You scream and yell and trade cubes and have a blasty blast.
I have it on my list.
This is one of my must-play convention
I've only played it
games. If
once.
this game is available at a convention, I am there and I am playing it because this is perfect for a big group. You want to have 5, 6, 7 people playing this game. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. It's Sidereal Confluence.
What's the whole name?
There's more?
Sidereal Confluence, trading and negotiation in the Elysian Quadrant.
Because we couldn't have it in like the Delta Quadrant. But
There is
it's
a
only the
brand
Elysian
new
Quadrant.
reprint with fancy bits
Really?
came out. It's called remastered. Sidereal Confluence Remastered, I think that's what it's called.
Sounds like a DVD.
That's the version you would buy now if you buy it.
Huh.
This is crazy asymmetrical game a la Vast and Root and games like that where everybody is a completely different race and plays the game completely different when this is that to the T. In fact, you have a player sheet with your player rules. The basic rules of the game aren't that complex, but then you have your player rules that tell you exactly how you play your character. And everyone is playing different.
So different.
But
it's ridiculous.
it boils down to, I have these machines that are taking certain cubes and turning them into other cubes. The cubes that come out of my machine are probably not going to be the cubes I need to go back into my machines. So I have to trade my cubes for everyone else's cubes. So I may need green cubes, you might need blue cubes, and this other person needs yellow cubes, and we're screaming at each other. I need green cubes, who has green cubes? Oh, what do you need? You need blue cubes? I got some blue, I'll trade you 2 blue cubes for a green. And it's just blah, screaming and yelling and fighting and punching and attacking. No, not really. But it is a frenzy of trading, followed by you run all your machines.
It's
eventually,
actually really, really fun.
eventually your machines are going to change from cranking out cubes to cranking out victory points. And on top of all that, the machines are really technologies. So you, as time goes by, you're going to be drafting or purchasing technologies, learning those technologies, and then getting better technology until eventually you're drafting technologies that are converting cubes into victory points.
Nice.
Meanwhile, I'm playing the game completely different than Rebecca is in terms of how my machines work and how I interact with different players and stuff like that. Awesome game. Basically a tale of two cities. It's frenzied trading changed into a cube pusher game. So it's trading and cube pushing basically. So much fun. Great convention game. You cannot be a wallflower in this game. If you don't like that frenzied trading,
you need to
avoid this game
outgoing or aggressive.
Like the plague.
Yep.
Because
you want to enjoy that part of it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've played one convention game where there was a person that was I guess a wallflower. I don't know if that's the right word. They were
just more introverted than the rest.
And they did not enjoy themselves.
No, I mean it's not a severely introverted kind of game. It's just
you can't just kind of put your head down and play your game because, like I said, the cubes you're producing are not going to go back in you for the most part.
You have
back
to
into
aggressively
your machine.
go get your stuff.
You have to trade with other people. It encourages and the races actually are designed in such a way that it forces that interaction, encourages, I guess is a better word, encourages that interaction because like one race has wild cubes that are any color you want them to be, but so they're more valuable. So you have to kind of maybe trade two cubes for one of the wild cubes or whatever. I love this game so much. It is. I'm getting high energy just talking about it.
I am waiting because I have only played this once.
I've played it like a half dozen times.
I know, and it just I never get to play it when you get to play it. And
it's hard to get a group of people.
It is, and I want to play it so badly because I just know deep down it's gonna be in my top 100.
Yeah.
As soon as I get another play of it in.
Yeah.
I really
kind of got a space theme kind of pasted on top. You have all
because they're all the fun different little aliens. You're a different alien race.
And you're collecting colonies with your planets and things like that. And you're researching different
right up my alley.
And the texts are all super like genetic engineering and hydroponic distillation and all these crazy high-tech sounding names.
Lasers.
So much fun.
That's a good one.
Love it. I love the trading. Man, I'm aggressive with my trading.
No one would ever guess that.
I'm aggressive. I'm a very aggressive trader. Love it. Love it.
Give me your
Sidereal Confluence, trading and negotiation in the Elysian Quadrant.
Not in the Mediterranean.
Not in the Mediterranean.
That's right. No.
With my 64, it popped up to my 34 because I just finally said, I love this game. Because there's flaws in it. I mean, if you're not the right person, you get the wrong kind of group. If you don't have a lot of active trading, if people kind of put their head down and not interact, it's fragile, I guess is the word they use. And I
could see that, yeah.
I kind of looked at it that way, but now I'm like, I love it.
Yep.
Because I had a game, like I said, I had a game with a wallflower that was not enjoying themselves. I had a blast. I'm like, I'll just ignore you. You do your thing. I'm going to trade with them.
If you needed to trade with them, that would really stink, though.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Anyway, love it. Love it. Sidereal Confluence remastered edition if you're looking for it currently. Let's move on to my number 33. This one got punitated slightly. It was my 25 last time. It's 33 now. It's 29 before that. So same general area. You're looking for a heavy worker placement game with, a lot of worker placement games. You have that where you need some, like you want to collect some resources. Maybe you want some stone, so you need to go to the stone spot. And Rebecca goes to it, like, oh, you went to my spot. This one is that times 10. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she took the spot I wanted. That's pretty much sums up.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes,
Vito
it does.
is a heavy worker placement game with kind of a mean edge to it because there's spots that you want to go to that you have to go to, if they go before you and get that spot, you cry and scream.
This is my number 68, and it's really high for a mean game.
We've come to discover, so this is a worker placement game. It has kind of different phases. You're drafting cards, you're influence different regions. It has these little town guard guys that are going around, and wherever they stop, that region doesn't go off. And there's ways to manipulate that, so that can be mean. But on top of that, it has some cards, some events that are really brutal.
Gosh,
we decided to take those out. They're called the samurai events or something like that. They're really mean. If you're looking for another level of mean, you throw those cards in this game. But this game is so good. I love this game. It has some superpowers you can kind of buy into that give you certain abilities that you can do. But what's interesting and what I like in a lot of games kind of have this mechanism. I was just thinking about what game were we playing? We were just playing a game that has a mechanism where as you collect resources, you keep those resources. You don't really spend them. You just have to have certain sets of resources to be able to complete. You're basically all of this activity is boiling down to completing these contracts. And contracts, you need these things to be able to complete the contracts. But like maybe I need a sword and a bow and arrow and one other thing to do it. I don't really spend those resources, but my next contract might need a different set of things. So you're going to try to find some efficiencies on what you're drafting to be able to which contracts you're completing. Like I'll complete these two first because they have similar resources, but this third one has completely different resources, so I'll wait to do that one later.
Embarcadero.
Oh, that one. It's the same way. You
Yeah, it has
you,
the same
as
kind of thing.
you collect these resources and you keep them as time goes by, but you may need to swap them out.
Yep.
And that's where that worker placement thing comes. It's like I need
brutal.
a bow staff to complete this contract. There's only one. Rebecca goes before me, and she takes it, and you're like, whoa!
Yeah, it's so tough sometimes. It really is.
Some people don't like that. I just think part of me is like, part of me is like, oh, I can't believe she did that.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I think it's that turn angst. It's like, I should have went first. I should have really got the first player to be able to go first so that that wouldn't happen to me. I was like, I took a chance and hoped she didn't take what I needed.
Truth.
Love this game. It's got a good progression. You're starting off, you're doing there's easy, medium, and hard contracts. You're doing a lot of the easy ones to start, then you transition to the medium, then you start cranking out the hard ones at the end. There's actually a contract in the game. If you complete it, it's so hard. If you complete it, you just win. Game over, you win, which is kind of funny.
It's awesome because it is impossible.
But if you try to go for it and you don't complete it, then you're not going to win. So it's kind of a risk to do that.
It's a very big risk.
Love this game. It's a heavy one. It's a long one. It's 2 to 3 hours.
Worth it.
It's kind of hard to teach because it's got a lot of different things going on, a lot of interaction and things like that happen. But it is worth the time you spend to get to learn it and to play it. It is awesome. It is an awesome experience. One of my favorite worker placement games. Not my favorite, but one of my favorite. Because it's one that's kind of heavy. It's not always going to hit the table, but when it does, whoop, good times. Yeedo. And there's a brand new, I don't know if it's available in retail, but they kickstarted this recently, and there's like a deluxe version.
Ooh.
But we got a kind of a deluxe version because I bought it secondhand, and the guy that I bought it from
blinged it out.
blinged it out a little bit. And I just want to show off one thing, and you love it too.
I do.
So normally your workers are like just little cylinders that you put on the thing.
End, aren't they?
And he got these little tiny little ninja guys.
They're so cute.
So instead of little cylinders, we got little ninjas.
And they're color coded, of course.
Little ninja guy. Can you see the little ninja guy? Yeah.
Isn't he cute?
This one guy's got a little knife and a throwing star.
Yeah, they're all different. Some have nunchucks and like.
Yeah, this guy's got what are those called? Sais? What are they called? The little knives. And this guy's got looks like a katana.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, I like it. But there's a blinged out deluxe version that I don't know if that ever went to retail, but maybe you can find it secondhand. But anyway, if you love worker placement games and you don't mind a little meanness in your worker placement, and you have 2-3 hours to burn, this is a long way. It's a beast. It's a bear. But I love Yeedo.
It's fun. Super fun.
My number, what was number 33, went down just a little bit from 25, same general area. Let's move on to my number 32. It dropped a little bit too. It dropped from 22. But it's been all over the map. It started off way back in 2016. It's my 24, and then went to 48, then 32, then 23, then 22, and now back to 32. So kind of all over the map. Depending on my mood, this may be, let me do a quick preview here. Nope, I can't say that. I used to be able to say that. I used to be able to say it's my favorite deck builder game, but I can't say that anymore. That is Core Worlds!
My number 28, baby. Woo!
Same general area, right?
Yeah.
32, 28?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one always makes the top of our combined lists when we merge lists together. This one always ends up near the top. Core Worlds. This is the expansion box we like. This is I got it secondhand. This is what it was in. We have everything in the world, everything for Core Worlds. We love it. We usually play with everything when we play because adding in the expansions is not too bad. But we enjoy the things it does add. But at its heart, it's a deck building game. You're building a deck, using that deck to go out to conquer planets. Take those planets, and you get the victory points at the end of the game. Sometimes they give you superpowers and other things. You have different factions you're influencing that gives you certain benefits. Awesome deck building game. If you're looking for a good, solid deck builder with a little spacey theme on top of it, Core Worlds is fun. The reason it's called Core Worlds is that towards the end of the game, you're conquering these core worlds, which are like massive victory points. And you definitely want to get one of them conquered. If you can conquer 2 core worlds somehow, you're probably going to win the game.
Oh, heck yeah.
But they all kind of have different ways. So there's basically 2 resources or 2 things. You got space and land units. You got air units and land units. and maybe this core world takes 18 land units but no air units, and another core world maybe has 9 of each, and another one takes an 18 land. So you gotta kind of look and go, okay, these are the core worlds available. I want to go for that one. So I really need to concentrate on my air units at the end throughout the game to build up this big air force to be able to attack that core world. But you'd be watching like, oh, well, she's really building up her air units. Maybe she's going for the same one as me. And oh my gosh, maybe I need to switch gears and go for a different one. Because those core worlds are so many points. They're not going to win you the game, but they are such an integral part of the game that you really need to kind of build towards those. Meanwhile, you're utilizing those to get those other planets as you go.
Right.
Great game. Great deck builder. She loves this one.
I do. Very much.
Like I said, it was my favorite true deck builder. It may have been...
Replaced by Dominion?
It's in my top 200.
No, it's not. Don't even.
No, it is. 147.
Dominion is?
Yes. Well, Dominion Intrigue. I actually have them separated.
Oh, you separated
I don't know
them?
why I did. I don't know where Dominion is. Dominion should be close to that. But anyway.
That's hilarious.
Core Worlds.
The
If
more
you're
you
looking
know.
for a good deck builder, I don't know if it's still in print or not, but it's
Worth
a good
looking
one.
for.
Let's move on to my last one for this time. My 31. It's gone up from 43. You know why it went up? I finally got to play the full epic 25-hour version of the Colonists.
Yay!
We
This
finally
game
got to
is
play
so
the
good.
entire thing, the epic everything of
And
the
it
Colonists.
was
Normally we play 1 or 2
fun.
ages. It has 4 ages, and you can mix and match. You can do the first age or the first and second age or the second, third age, or you can just do the 4th age. And we've kind of bumped around and done 1 and 2 ages at a time. We did the whole thing, start to finish, age 1, 2, 3, and 4. So good.
It's my 47, yeah.
It's so good. It is epic. It says on the back, the epic strategy game.
It says it on the front in large letters.
Oh, it does too. I saw it. I'm looking at the back here. This is truly an epic strategy game. It is, if you play the full 4 ages, you're looking at like 5 or 6 hours.
Well, plus, without even knowing anything else about the game, you know that this is going to be a great Euro game because random homeboy on the front, no other information. Just saying. I'm just saying. It's just, can you tell? This says Euro.
So a lot of people's like epic game is like Twilight Imperium. That's the epic like space attacky epicness game.
Yes.
It takes you like 6 hours to play or whatever.
Yes.
This is the Euro version of that. This one is, it feels epic. You start out and you're in the Stone Age and you got a couple of rocks and you're farming and stuff or whatever. And by the end you're using steel and you're building all these casinos and high-tech buildings and stuff. You can see got this great progression, this great build up, lots of resource management. It's got an interesting worker placement system where you have a dude that's basically you're building out a map. You start out with a map that has like 4 little hexes on it. By the end you got this big giant map. And you're moving your little dude around, and wherever he goes, that's the action he takes. But there's kind of limitations on how much he can move. You can upgrade that, but he can only move maybe 2 spaces. So it's like, oh gosh, the thing I want to do is on the other side of the board, way over there. How am I going to get to him?
Yeah.
Lots of you're building out your village or your colony. Building out your colony, and you're getting certain buildings in. You're replacing, upgrading buildings, and changing them out. Super epic game. But what's cool about this game, the epic version, like I said, 4 to 6 hours, but you can pick and choose and play 1 or 2 ages and shorten it down to a more manageable length of time. And that's rewarding, but man, when we played the whole thing, whew, it was awesome.
It really was.
It was an experience. You walk
cool.
away kind of like you feel when you walk away from a Twilight Imperium. It's like, wow, that was awesome. We did a lot of stuff. A lot of things happened. A lot of cool stuff.
It was a good learning game, too, because the movement is so strict.
Yep.
And you have to put certain buildings, like you want to put certain buildings next to each other so they make sense for you to travel through them to get to other stuff. Or, like we ended up doing, we're like, ha ha ha, you can't do that. And later on, you're like, I might want to do that too now.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, Rebecca really wants to do this one action.
And so
I'm
we
gonna
would
put
do
this
stuff.
off in the middle of nowhere.
And then later on,
And
we're
then-
like, why did we do that?
Yeah.
Well, you had to like just to change heaven and earth to try to get this one thing now because
when you move, you have to be able to take the action where you're going, so you can put blockers between
and
good
it's
actions. You can put crappy
brutal.
actions near them so that they
So
like, I want to
hard.
go there, but man, I really don't want to do this one
wasting
action.
your time. Yeah.
It has worker movement.
It
Says worker placement is so yesterday.
Does it say that? Oh my goodness.
Worker movement.
Smack talk even.
Anyway, this one's awesome. It's an epic game. It is fun, and this one actually seems like, for what I've seen, it's pretty easy to find.
Oh really?
Cheaply. A lot of
that's
people.
good.
I think a lot of people go into this, and it's an epic game. It's not something like It's not your 60-minute Euro. Although you can play one age and
You could do one age, yeah,
get 60
and it's
minutes
not
out
bad.
of it, but it's not. If you want to play the full thing, it's a time commitment. It is your game day. Is this one game? But I love it. I love the Colonists. After playing the epic version, I almost don't want to go back to one age because it's so fun
It's
to
true.
play the whole thing.
It's true.
That's
But
it.
you can if you need to.
That is it. That is my 31. We are done for this time. That one went up. This is the highest it's been. It was 36, 43,
That's really cool.
then 31 because we got to play the
We got to
epic
play it.
version.
Yeah, that's huge.
Well, let's move on to my 30 to 21. Ooh, let's see what we got here. Two new games. Let's see what went up and down. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What are you counting?
6 games went down.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes
2
sense.
new
It's fine.
games.
Okay.
6 games went down. 2 games
2 new games though.
went up. 2 games went up. So lots of fun stuff happening next time.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.